Welcome to True Haunting Log, where the line between life and death fades like mist at midnight. Here, every story you hear is real, documented, investigated, and whispered by those who live to tell it. Tonight, we travel to the quiet, haunted edges of San Antonio, Texas, a place where laughter once echoed across open fields, but now only the wind remembers the sound of children who never came home. This is not a tale of fantasy. It is a record, a memory preserved in whispers and shadows. This is the story of the ghost children of San Antonio. The south side of San Antonio holds many roads that twist and vanish beneath the oak trees. But there is one crossing, one lonely meeting of rails and asphalt that feels wrong. It sits quietly where Villamain Road meets Shane Road, near the old Mission San Juan Capistrano. By day, it's ordinary. By night, it becomes something else. Locals call it the ghost tracks. No gates, no warning lights, just a stretch of road that dips across the rails and disappears into darkness. And those who have stopped here say, if you listen closely, you can hear tiny voices whispering in the wind. Some claim to feel little hands press against their car, pushing them away from danger. Others swear they've heard the soft laughter of children playing when the night is still and no one is there. It's a story that's been told for generations. A tragedy so cruel that the dead refuse to leave. Long ago, some say in the 1,930 seconds. Others whisper it was the 1,940 seconds. A school bus carrying children across these very tracks broke down. The morning was gray, the air thick with rain. Inside the bus, chatter turned to confusion as the driver pressed the ignition again and again. Nothing. The old engine coughed, then died completely. Outside, far in the distance, came the faint cry of a train whistle. It grew louder and louder, until the rails began to sing that sharp, metallic hum that means death is coming fast. The driver shouted for the children to get out, but panic spread faster than courage. Some say the train's headlight was broken, swallowed by fog. Others say it came around the bend too quickly. Either way, the crash came like thunder. Metal screamed, glass shattered, and in an instant silence. They say the train split the bus in two. The children never stood a chance. Their laughter, their songs, their little dreams all ended in a blink. And when rescuers arrived, the rain washed the blood into the earth. But something stayed. Something refused to move on. There's another version. A nun behind the wheel, her students in the back, their voices echoing hymns before the collision. She survived, cursed to remember every scream, every shattered face. Weeks later, unable to live with the guilt, she drove her car to the same tracks. She placed it in park, whispered a prayer, and waited for the next train. But as the whistle blew, her car began to roll backward, away from the tracks. Invisible hands pressed against her trunk. Tiny handprints appeared in the dust. The children she lost had returned to save her. From that day on, the locals say the children's spirits stayed trapped between worlds, forever guarding strangers from the same fate. San Antonio is old, older than most cities in Texas. It was built on bones, war, and memory. Long before the highways and malls, this was the land of native tribes, Spanish priests, and soldiers. Battles raged here. The Alamo, Mission San Jose, Menger Hotel, All carry their own ghosts, but none feel quite like the ghost tracks. It's a quiet haunting, not violent, not angry, but sorrowful. The kind that makes you whisper, even when you're alone. Every Halloween, people come here. Parents tell their kids, this is why you always stop for trains. Teenagers arrive in groups, daring each other to park on the tracks. Some laugh, some cry, some leave with stories they'll never tell again. The crossroads of fear. It begins the same way every time. You drive down Villamain Road at night, no streetlights, no noise, but your own engine. The air feels heavy, like the world is holding its breath. Then you see the tracks, a glint of metal cutting through the dark. You stop, you put the car in neutral. You take your foot off the pedal, and then you wait. At first, nothing happens. The night is quiet. The trees sway. The sound of a train whistle echoes faintly in the distance. Then, your car begins to move, slowly at first, then faster. It rolls up and over the tracks pushed by something unseen. And when you stop to check your trunk, you find them, tiny handprints, so small they couldn't belong to anyone alive. People call this the baby powder test. They sprinkle flour or powder on their bumpers, waiting for proof of the unseen. They say the ghosts push them clear of danger, the same way they once tried to save themselves. A woman named Brenda Pacheco once told a reporter she felt her car jerk forward violently as if someone was pushing it with all their strength. When she stepped out, the fingerprints were there, a dozen tiny smudges, glimmering under the moonlight. She said she cried right there on the road, whispering thank you to the night. But not all encounters are kind. One driver claimed that when he parked his car and waited, he heard children giggling right behind him. He turned. Nothing. Then a child's voice whispered in his ear, "Get off the tracks." He didn't wait. He slammed the accelerator, heart pounding. When he got home, he found handprints on his windows. Not just on the trunk, on the inside of the glass. Many visitors return night after night, hoping to see the ghosts again. But others swear they'll never go back. They say once the children touch your car, you start dreaming of the crash, of the train that never stops, and the sound of laughter turning into screams. It's strange, isn't it, how pain leaves footprints that never fade? Even the land remembers. The grass grows back, the rails shine again, but the air carries the memory of screams. The story always begins on a wet, gray morning. A bus full of children, their lunchboxes rattling against the floor, their laughter bouncing through the fog. The teacher, or maybe it was the nun, smiles through the rear-view mirror, humming softly. Outside, the world is quiet. Too quiet. The bus slows. A red light flashes faintly in the mist, the railroad crossing. The driver presses the brakes. The bus stops. Then, a cough from the engine, a stutter, and silence. She turns the key again. Nothing. The children giggle, they think it's a game. But outside, the faint, distant wail of a train whistle begins. At first, it sounds far away, then closer, louder, until the rails beneath them begin to tremble. The bus shakes. The windows rattle. "Everyone out!" she screams, but fear holds them still. Tiny hands grip lunchboxes, dolls, and each other. The train bursts through the fog like a silver bullet, roaring down the line. And then, impact. A sound so violent that nearby houses shake from the force. Metal tears like paper. Glass sprays across the field, and the cries of children vanish beneath the scream of steel. Then silence. Nothing moves. Just smoke. just broken toys and twisted seats glistening under the rain. In the end, we are left with two truths. The first, there was never a bus crash in San Antonio. The second, people continue to feel something at that crossing. Something gentle, something real. Cars still roll forward, handprints still appear, and when you drive away, it feels like someone small is waving goodbye. Maybe that's all they want, to be remembered, to be felt, to keep saving lives, even after losing their own. This was The Ghost Children of San Antonio, based on real events. A story not about fear, but about the love that lingers between worlds. And here, on True Haunting Log, every whisper, every chill, every breath of the unknown comes from true encounters and real tragedies. If you ever find yourself driving through the quiet roads of San Antonio and the night feels heavier than usual, stop just for a moment, listen, and if your car begins to move on its own, don't be afraid. It might just be the ghost children, still trying to save you. If this one left you watching the mirror on your ride home, like, subscribe, and share this video with the bravest person you know. It helps more believers and skeptics find us in the dark. And now, it's your turn. Do you have a true haunting? A voice in the hallway that shouldn't be there? A footprint in flour where no one walked? Send your verified personal encounters, photos, audio, dates, locations to truehauntinglog@gmail.com. We read every message. We verify what we can, and if your story refuses to be quiet, we'll tell it here, exactly the way it wants to be heard. Until next time, drive slow, look both ways, and if your car ever moves without you, let it. It might be the children, still keeping watch at the crossing. You've been watching True Haunting Log. We only tell stories grounded in real events, real witnesses, real places. Good night, and don't forget to leave a light on in the hallway, just in case.